Hey, hi everyone. I hope you all are good and you're having a very good time. My name is Bhumika Singh and I'm here to discuss on one of the change that have been brought in by the Finance Act 2020 by introducing a new section that is section 206C1H so as to widen the scope of section 206C to include the levy of TCS on the sale of the goods above the prescribed limit. So now we'll see why this section has been introduced or what is rationally behind this introduction. So basically the introduction of section 206C1H is a welcome step to curb and track the usage of the unaccounted money. As this section includes a levy of TCS on the sale of the goods, this data will be very helpful for the government to track the high value transactions. And also the introduction of this section will help in creating an audit trail of the buyers who procure the goods without the disclosure in the books of account. And yes, this section is applicable from 1st October 2020. So now we'll see what the section talks about. So now we are giving the plain reading of this section as every person being a seller who receives any amount as consideration for sale of any goods of the value or aggregate of such value exceeding 50 lakh rupees in any previous year other than the goods being exported out of India or goods covered in subsection 1 or subsection 1F or subsection 1G shall at the time of receipt of such amount collect from the buyer a sum equal to 0.1% of the sale consideration exceeding 50 lakh rupees as income tax. After giving a reading on this section, we see that there are many terms that needs to be understood for the levy of this provision. So now there are a lot of questions as to what the terms talks about. So over here we'll see that who shall be the buyer or who shall be the seller, as because not every buyer and seller shall be covered, or what shall be the point of collection of tax, what shall be the rate of tax, as whether the rate of tax shall be 0.1% or some other rate of tax is also there, whether TCA shall be collected on the whole amount or not, or whether the sale of all the goods is covered in this section or some goods have been excluded also. So we'll see this one by one in the next slide. So first we'll see what shall be the point of collection of tax. So in this section, the point of collection of tax shall be at the time of receipt of the consideration. Now, if you see section 206C subsection 1, which says that TCS shall be collected at the time of debit or at the time of receipt of consideration, whichever is earlier. But over here, this term is not applicable as because the section specifically says that TCS shall be collected only on the receipt of the consideration. So, TCS shall not be levied on raising of invoices or transfer of goods for this particular section. Then we'll see what shall be the rate of tax. Over here, the rate of tax shall be only 0.1% of the consideration, but in case the buyer does not have a PAN or the buyer does not have a Aadhaar number, then in those cases, the rate of tax shall be 1% of the consideration. There also might be a case of a non-resident who does not have a P in India and they don't have PAN. For them, they have to show a no pay declaration to the seller and then the rate of tax for them shall be 0.1% of the consideration. But in case of the non-resident, if they are unable to show the no pay declaration to the sellers, then the rate shall be 1% of the consideration for them too. Then we'll move on to whether TCS shall be collected on the whole amount or not. So over here, since the section says that the TCS at the rate of 0.1% shall be on the consideration over and above the prescribed limit, which is rupees 50 lakh. So I'll say this for with an example. In case the receipt of the consideration after the applicable date, that is 1st October 2020, it is rupees 80 lakh. So in that case, TCS shall be levied only on the differential amount, that is 80 lakh minus 50 lakh, which is 30 lakh. So TCS shall be levied only on rupees 30 lakh and not on the entire consideration, that is rupees 80 lakh. Now we'll see who shall be the buyer or who shall be the seller. So for the provision of this section, So over here, it's like any person whose total sales, gross receipts, or turnover from the business carried on during the financial year immediately preceding the financial year in which the goods are sold exceeds INR 10 crore. Further, the central government may by notification in the official gazette specify a person to whom the said provisions may not be applicable. So in this case, since the provision is applicable from 1st October 2020, we need to check the sales, gross receipts of turnover of the seller of the financial year 1920. So basically this shall be the first year to check the limit. In case it exceeds rupees 10 crore, then only this provision shall be applicable, else not. Now we'll see who shall be the buyer. So over here, a buyer shall be any person who purchases any goods but does not include the following. And what are those? The central government, state government and embassy, a high commission, legation, commission, consulate, and the trade representation of a foreign state, or a local authority as defined in explanation to section 10, subsection 20, or any other person as the central government may by notification in the official gazette specify for this purpose subject to such conditions as may be specified there. Now we see that in the provision of section 206C1H, certain exclusions are there on which this section is not applicable. So first, it is consideration which is received on the export of the goods. Basically, export is excluded from this section. Then we will see that any transaction where the buyer of the goods is liable for TDS on purchase of goods from the seller and TDS has already been deducted by the buyer. So for those transactions where the TDS has already been deducted, TCS shall not be applicable as because for the same transaction TDS and TCS shall not be applicable. It goes simultaneously. And the other is goods which are covered under section 206C subsection 1, section 206C subsection 1F and section 206C subsection 1G. Now let's see what are the goods which are already covered under the TCS provision. For them, the new section is not applicable. So for section 206C subsection 1 is alcoholic liquor for human consumption, tendu leaves, timber obtained under a forest lease, timber obtained by any other mode, any other forest produce not being timber, scrap, minerals. Then the other section is 206C1F, motor vehicle if value exceeds under 10 lakh rupees. Then the section 206C1G, where the sum of money above 7 lakh for remittance out of India. This is also a new section which has been introduced by the Finance Act. And the other is seller of an overseas tour program packet. For this three section, where it has already been covered in the TCS provisions, the section which has separately introduced for the levy of the goods shall not be applicable for this goods. So now we'll come with some of the common queries which has come after the introduction of this section. So I'll take up one by one. So first is export sales. Whether the TCS shall cover the export sales also or not. So since it has been specifically excluded from the definition, so export sales will not be covered in this levy. Now number two is bad debt. So over here, in case of the bad debt, the seller receives no amount or partially or fully the seller is not in receipt of the consideration. So since the section has been introduced on the receipt of the consideration, since no consideration has been received and bad debt is not covered in this section. Then we'll see for the sale of the capital goods. So basically in this section, there are few exclusions. Apart from the exclusion which is there in this section, all the goods are covered under the levy of TCS. So over here, the scope of capital goods is wide enough to be covered in this section. So in case of the sale of the capital goods also, this section will be applicable. Then we'll see whether TCS to be collected inclusive of GST or it shall be exclusive. So this is one of the question which needs to be dealt with very properly as because no further clarification has been issued by the CBDT and also the sale consideration has not been defined in the Act, but the definition of section 206C1H has used the word any amount which is received as a consideration. So for this case, on a conservative basis, TCS should be collected on the value which is inclusive of GST until and unless any further clarification is issued by the CBDT. Now we'll see whether TCS to be collected on the entire consideration or the consideration exceeding 50 lakh. So we've already discussed this with an example that TCS is collected only on the amount exceeding the prescribed limit of rupees 50 lakh. So in case I have given an example that is of 80 lakh rupees, so the TCS shall be collected only on the differential amount of 30 lakh rupees and not on the entire consideration. Then, in case where the invoice has been received before 1st October 2020 and the entire consideration has been received post effective date, for this case, since the consideration has been entirely received after 1st October 2020, TCS should be levied provided the consideration exceeds INR 50 lakh rupees. In case the consideration which is received after 1st October is less than the prescribed limit, notices shall be applicable for this case. So there might also be a case where the invoice has been issued prior to the introduction of this section and part of the consideration has also been received prior to the applicable date, that is 1st October 2020. There can be two scenarios. In one case, suppose the invoice value is of 1 crore rupees, and in two cases can be there for this. That is, in the first case, the consideration received before 1st October 2020 is INR 40 lakh rupees, and after the applicable date it is 60 lakh rupees. So in this case, since the consideration which has been received post 1st October 2020 is INR 60 lakh rupees, it exceeds the threshold limit of 50 lakh. So the TCS shall be applicable at the rate of 0.1% on the differential amount of 60 minus 50, that is on the 10 lakh rupees TCS shall be applicable. In the second case, where the value of the invoice is 1 crore rupees, the consideration which has been received previous to 1st October 2020 is 60 lakh rupees, and the consideration received post 1st October 2020 is 40 lakh rupees. So in this case, since the amount which has been received after 1st October 2020 does not exceed the threshold limit of 50 lakh, no TCS shall be applicable. Then in other case, consideration has been received prior to 1st October 2020, but only the invoice has been issued after the introduction of this section. So for this case, since there is only the invoice that has been issued and there is no receipt of the consideration of the invoice, as because all the consideration which was there for that particular invoice has been received prior to the introduction of this section. So for this case, since no receipt is there, TCS shall not be applicable. So by this, I end up this video, and thank you so much for the patience and listening this video. I hope this video might help you out some way or the other. But in case of any queries, you can just contact me. My mail ID is cmbhumikasingh1506@gmail.com, and my contact number is also displayed over here. So thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Thank you.